All right, what's up, everybody? This is first round Stimhack League. Potentially, we're actually still waiting on one person to confirm, but most likely these two will be seeded against each other. So this is the first game of the single elimination, and I believe it's a 6 versus 3 seed. So we have Apelon, aka Apo, looks like playing RP, and Gozik playing Noise. So these are both very good players here. Pretty nice. I mean, you get the 2 ice out. RP, I would assume the vast majority of his ice is some sort of anti-face check ice, like Pump, Sarugi, see what he reses here. Maybe some, like an Enigma. Neurokatana is another example. That's a mean card. Neurokatana, I think, is underplayed. In my opinion, it's nice to see it making a comeback here in Apo's deck. It is a little pricey, but it's pretty brutal when it lands. What did he get? Quality Time, Scheherazade, and Imp. Nice. That Imp is a nice get. He plays a lot of assets, I'm sure. So he doesn't want to have an Imp out there getting stuff trashed for free or getting a celebrity gift or something like that. So yep, there's another anti-face check ice. Hits him with an Enigma. This time gets to end the run. And I presume this will be like a pad campaign. Yeah, there you go. Opts to trash it. Not a bad idea. Since he's going to just res it for free and gain money, might as well trash it now since he's already made the run. No need to make 2 runs to trash it later. So that's likely like a pop-up window or a pup, maybe. Probably something cheap. Could be in another Enigma. But as RP playing it, definitely one thing to consider is having the outermost piece of ice be sort of an anti-face check ice. So that way, when they need to run your remotes, they at least have to deal with something. They can't just run jack out right away or run and let the ice end the run without doing any damage or losing a click or something. So that's why you're going to see a lot of that kind of ice in his centrals. So Noise gets the first mill of the game, drops a Parasite on Enigma. Pretty standard play there. It's nice that Gozik has the pawn shop out nice and early. I'm sure if this game goes any length of time, which considering the 2 factions here, it's very likely to, he's going to get a ton of value from that pawn shop. So this might be a Sundew, yeah. It's kind of what I figured. He's got a Sundew there, and then maybe like something like a Quandary or maybe an Enigma behind it, guarding it rather. Something cheap. Because I think he definitely needs to keep that Sundew around. So it's probably not going to res this. Unless it's like a pup or a pop-up. Yeah. And then he's going to come in the remote, and likely it's an ETR. Oh, wow. Future perfect. And 3 points off the bat to Noise from a mill. Brutal. And this will be some ETR. Yeah, Eli. Just enough. to keep him out there. But I don't know if he'll be able to keep him out for 2 turns. Second mill from Noise comes from a Lamprey, which is quite a mean card. Especially when you got a Parasite about to kill your only ice in front of HQ. It's going to make life miserable. So he is up to 5 credits now. So let's see. Gozik just goes ahead and pawns the Lamprey right away. Runs HQ. What do we have? Pup. Okay. So that's cool. He's either going to take 2 net now, which you probably just opt to pay the 2. Yeah, he pays the 2. And here he comes. Trash that. So Gozik's doing a great job here, playing denial against RP, keeping him poor, keeping him under a lot of pressure, making him reinstall ice and re-res ice, wasting a lot of time and money, getting to his assets and trashing him so that Apo is not making asset money. And Noise can recover pretty quickly, economically, with cards like Cash and Hedge Fund. Eventually he'll probably be able to play that. If he's playing Hedge Fund, he might not be. And that was a really, really important card for Abo there. Didn't really get a good look at what he was showing. NAPD, Caprice, Kamainu, Enhanced Login Protocol, and another Caprice. But he was really desperate for the money. And Gozik is poor, so if he could draw into an agenda, he has that NAPD. He could actually score the NAPD now. Behind that Eli. Because the best he could do would be pawn the data sucker for 3, take a credit, and then he still has to run twice. And he wouldn't be able to click through Eli. But it looks like he opts not to play it that way unless it's, here it comes. That could be the NAPD. Let's see if he advances this. I think he should. Could be the Caprice. But I don't know. If I were him, let's see, it was 2 Caprice, Enhanced Login Protocol. Can't remember. 2 Caprice, Enhanced Login Protocol. Dang it. Well, anyway. Maybe he knows something I don't. It's very possible. But I think I would have just gone for the score there. But let's see. Let's see what happens. 3 mills now since the last time Noise accessed archives. 30 cards left in Abo's deck. 31 to Noise, Gozik. So I assume that's Caprice. in this server. What this is, I don't know. That could be the NAPD, but that would be weird. Maybe he's looking for, okay, he's looking for ice. But again, Gozik is just slowing him down a little bit by forcing him to draw and try to find ice. He's not going to be able to score. Maybe this turn he'll try after Gozik's turn. But I assume he's going to run HQ, and if he's got anything valuable in there, he's going to have to res it, and 13 credits isn't a whole lot of money. When you're resing cards like Komainu and Tsurugi, Neural Katana. And that ice could really be anything. At this point, it doesn't necessarily have to be like an anti-face check ice. Like he could have put an Eli there. I'm sure that would be less optimal for him, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to want to just leave HQ open anymore, knowing he's playing Lamprey. So I think he's going to always just have it defended, regardless of it, whether or not it's punishing ice. That's what I would do at least. So he gets the enhanced login protocol out there. That's a really nice card, so that should help Apo get a little bit control of the game here, as long as he can keep Gozik from getting the cheap agenda. So it's going to be a lot more difficult with that on the table to be able to do that. But with milling, of course, anything's possible at any time. So interesting. Gozik goes to put the Eli down. Puts a parasite on Eli. 4th mill. So he was originally thinking the Katana, which I think is the obvious play. But then opts to go with the Eli, which, you know what, that's probably a really good play because it's going to cost more money for him to get through that than the Katana, likely. It's only 3 strength, 1 sub, and the Eli, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to wreck his scoring server. That's most likely a Nisei there, so he can run a Nisei multiple times and force him to spend money if he doesn't have ice on that remote. So I think that's a good play, because the Eli is really tough with the enhanced login protocol, since there's really no way he can click through it. Okay, so that second piece of ice could say that he has agendas in his hand. Apo just put that second piece of ice over HQ. Could mean he has agendas in hand, or it could mean that maybe this is a taxing piece of ice and this is a defensive piece of ice. Sometimes I like to build my RP servers that way. I might have like a Lotus field here and then like a Komainu here. So I have the punish up front and then like the barrier behind it, kind of. So maybe he did that, or maybe he just wants to really beef up HQ because he's got some good cards in there. But we'll find out, I'm sure. So he did use Jackson. That's worth noting. So Gozik now has 2 cards milled. This is a fresh mill. That one of these I think is one that Apo did not recurse, and then this second one here is from the imp. So now there's a 3rd mill from a medium. Pad campaign is rezzed. So April really needs more ice. The thing is that the clock is ticking here with all these mills on him, and it's forcing him to draw cards, which of course gets him through his deck faster. So in a lot of ways, he's playing into Noise's game right now, but he kind of has to at the same time. So it's tough. He's got the money, but he's just got to be able to get a reasonable enough server and a window, a 2-turn window to be able to push some agendas through. So yeah, here he finally takes a move here. And quite honestly, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is why I would have tried to score this NAPD that window he had way back when. Just because he'd have 2 points already done, and Noise tends to mount more pressure as the game goes on. So it'd be nice to just have that out of the way. But looks like he's probably going to get a score here. So at least he'll get on the board. If this is a Nisei, he could be in pretty decent shape. Which I suspect it is why he waited to score. He was waiting to draw a Nisei. There's Crypsis. Nice card. It's a great Noise card nowadays, in my opinion. Certainly Gozik is not having the econ draw that he wants. Either has Grimoire and hasn't been able to afford it. But there's now 5 cards milled that Gozik hasn't seen. Apo's on 20 cards now. 23 in Gozik's stack. And Apo takes chance to score. Is he going to finish it? Advanced it twice. He could be trying to leave himself a window to score next turn. At least maybe getting another agenda down. Nope. Goes right for the score. So, the Nisei token is powerful. I wouldn't be surprised to see a virus scan next turn. So, run to archives. Pup. Gozik's happy to see a pup. This could be game. NAPD and a Nisei could be in there. Nothing. Okay. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see anything other than the Komainu that's on top here. But we know there weren't agendas. So let's see if Apo wipes viruses here. I think he's thinking about it because he could still potentially have decent window for scoring. Unless Gozik can find some money fast, which I guess they can. So he's going to celebrity gift instead. And hopefully we can see it a little better this time. We can't. NAPD Caprice, Archive Memories, Celebrity Gift, and another Caprice. Interesting. Well, the Archive Memories is nice. It gives him a little bit of extra noise control if he's got something in there, at least on his own turn. Like an agenda, he can go get it. So dead pup now, plus a mill. 18 cards left for Apo. Eli now dies. He's going to run archives. And then he's going to probably run that remote and try to trash whatever that is. Could be an Ash. Okay. Nope. Just opts to mill another card. I don't think he's actually planning on running R&D with that medium. He's just probably looking to mill at this point. Another mill plus econ. 16 cards left for Apo. Clock is definitely ticking. Now he just grinds you down. It's just, yeah. I mean, now that we see that Eli gone, I mean, it'd be interesting to know what is in front of the Neurokatana, because he would have trashed that Neurokatana. But trashing that Eli now just makes scoring that much harder for Apo. And now he has archives open, and he has no scoring remote, and 15 cards left in his deck. I mean, you know, I'm quite sure Gozik's playing Deja Vu, maybe Clone Chip. So to see a whole bunch more milling here is not going to surprise me. Finally starts going for scoring. I think he's realizing what's going on here. And I assume that's a Nisei. So Apo is resigned to playing roulette here, essentially, with his scoring windows, knowing that Gozik's actually only going to have one chance to run here on it. So actually, this is a great play. I love this play here from Apo. I'm wondering if he could have done it earlier, where it's a little less desperate, but why not? I mean, he's going for it. He's going to... Although if that were Nisei, he would have already needed to res it, so maybe it's Ash. Yeah, no, it's Nisei. I knew it was Nisei. I mean, let's see. They're probably going to see how they resolve this here. Gozik lets him res it. That's sporting of him. He certainly didn't have to. But nice sportsmanship there. But he does lose the enhanced protocol, and the fetal gives another 2 points to Gozik. So wow. Yeah, Apo is under some serious pressure here. So he's gonna want to win this side battle, and he does. So that buys him another round with Caprice and a Nisei token. So winning that Psy game there was pretty huge. Now, I would assume he's just going to score this. Future perfect, maybe. Oh, any PD. But then hits him with another enhanced login protocol. Okay. Wow. Well, Gozik has played this exceptionally well. He's 2 points to game. He's drawing cards every turn here. He's done a great job of maintaining pressure with Wildside and even dealing with enhanced login protocol. That's not easy to do, managing on 2 clicks essentially. So very impressive, I would say, to be able to keep this much pressure on Apo. Now, of course, his programs are doing a lot of that work too, but nonetheless, um, this has been a nice performance by a nice player with a nice deck, and not counting Apo out by any means, because one piece of ice in front of that Caprice might be all that he needs to open up a window. So, um, I mean, if he has a future perfect in hand, which he might, and this might be what he's thinking right now, if he has a future perfect in hand, he can go for the game. And essentially, he's going to have to play a Psy game. He'll have to lose 2 Psy games in a row in order to lose it. But maybe that's not what he's going to do. Nope. See if he even has a future perfect in there. Doesn't seem like it. No, doesn't have a future perfect. NAPD, 2 Caprice, Archive Memories, and a hedge fund. Interesting. Okay. Wow. I would say that Apo is in some serious trouble here, because the longer this goes without him finding agendas, the more likely Gozik is just to mill him out. And I'm sure by now, Gozik is very aware that he's on 11 cards. I mean, yeah, he's not even looking to use Imp for its ability. Still drawing cards, looking for more viruses to play. He could just win it here. Nope. Apo lives another day. I mean, if he draws a 3-pointer, he's just got to put it down and advance it on Caprice. He has to. That's his only play. I don't think he has time. He can't afford to take a turn and install ice at this point in front of Caprice. He's just got to rely on her ability. And then if it fails once, he can use the token to end the run. And then they'll have to run it again. Gozik would have to run it again and win the Psy game twice. So, I mean, if I'm Apo, I'm in a tough spot. I need that 3-point agenda stat, but at the same time, I don't want to mill myself out. I also don't know how many Jacksons he has milled to. We know he's used one, but unfortunately, we don't know if he has, if he knows that he's drawing into another Jackson. If he is, I'd be more inclined to draw a card. If both of his other Jacksons got milled, that's pretty rough, because that 3-point agenda could be the last card in his deck. Assuming he has at least one more, probably 2 more. Although he's got Fetals and NAPDs and Nise's. So what is he getting? Maybe he's getting a Jackson. Grabs a Wall of Thorns. Okay. So Interesting. I guess that's a decent play. I mean, I see what he's doing there. He's just trying to do anything to slow him down at this point. Not make it running so easy on him, which just running archives is. So at the same time, I don't know that Gozik's going to be too worried about 2 net damage all that much. So he might just opt to take the damage if he needs to. But here he decides to run R&D. Gets hit with a Kamainu. Let's see what he does. I presume he'll just take some damage. Or maybe break some. He does have to trash something. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He'd probably just take the damage. No, he breaks it. Interesting. Okay. I guess he could be afraid of snares. Multiple snares. But he's only seeing 1 card, so... I might have just taken the damage, but I don't know what he has in his hand. So no agenda. He could have just milled 1. But we know that he just didn't draw an agenda because Gozik accessed that card, so... Gets another piece of ice out. Okay. That could be another Nisei. If that's another Nisei, that would be interesting, I think. So let's see here. That would make this game very interesting because then he could maybe score an NAPD or something from hand, or not from hand, but if he has an NAPD in hand, he can then try to score that. So let's see here. Gozik runs R&D, finds a Tsurugi. Pretty taxing piece of ice. Let's see what he decides to do with it. Breaks everything. Apo is going to let him access. Tense moment. 2 cards. Very tense moment. Trashes a Jackson. Oh my god. Down to 6 cards in his deck. What a game. He can just shut him out for running Caprice at 2. My guess is he'll just run it at 1. Yeah. I guess he just decides to take the safe route. I think 1 would have been safe there, but not totally safe. So 2 is the absolute no way you can get in here. So I don't blame him for doing that by any means. And let's see if he gets another Nisei. No, another NAPD. Oh man. If that was another Nisei, that would have been huge for Apo. He's still got the 1, which is pretty good. But I still think Gozik is in control here. Let's see if he pawns like his... I think he's just going to try and mill things. But maybe he'll pawn a... cyber feeder so he can try to install more stuff. I'm sure Apo died when he saw that Jackson get trashed. The question is, does he have another one? Doubtful. He's only got 5 cards left. It's very likely it's milled in there. So yeah, he does indeed Aesop's the cyber feeder. Probably to be able to install more viruses. Nope, it's so that he can run again. Fair enough. And this costs him another click. Yep. So he's going for the win. I mean, I suspect he's probably going to win it in 3 cards here. He could hit a fetal. Future perfect, technically. Apo. Okay, he ends the run. Interesting. Now what? Now what do you do if you're Apo? You got $2. You got R&D that's vulnerable and could lose you probably any time the next time he runs it. You can't score over the next 2 turns. A virus scan gives Noise and Gozik a whole turn to find viruses to mill you. What do you do? I mean, I don't know. Unless he's got a emergency Jackson in hand, which I guess is possible. But yeah, Gozik's just gonna try to go for the mill win here. Why not? Why not? Did not see a Grimoire. Maybe he's not playing Grimoire. That would be interesting and surprising. But I guess it's possible. So Apo has to put something down and try and score it. Yep. But I don't think it's gonna matter because Gozik's just gonna mill him out here. He's got 5 cards in hand. He's just got to install 2 viruses. He's got 4 clicks to do it. This is game over for Apo. I'm guessing. So another thing Gozik could do here and probably just be just as beneficial, quite honestly. If he's not, for some reason, he's not able to get a mill win here where he can't get the 2 viruses to mill him, he could basically just run. I would run archives first, access those 2 face down cards in archives, and then just run R&D, and then he'll see the last 2 cards in his deck. And I would say there's a pretty good chance at least one of those is a 2-pointer. But interesting here. See if Gozik can pull it off. And man, wouldn't Apo love to have had that NAPD scored earlier? I think that's a lesson I've learned against Noise is just take windows when you have them. And I'm not beating up Apo. He's actually played a great game and put himself in a position here where he has a chance to win against Gozik, who's played exceptionally well this game. So who am I to say? But um, it's possible that he could have alleviated a little pressure. So Gozik is thinking hard here about what he wants to do. Probably trying to figure out. Oh, there's the first virus. Here comes the second. And that'll be game over. Yep. Well played, Gozik. Well played, Apo. Two great players in an epic match, quite frankly. But fun game to watch, too. They did well. So I'll get this posted up. I think he wins by running archives. I figured he could win that way too. But anyway, so there you go. Most likely this is going to count for the first round. So I'm going to wait to post it until then. But there you go. The tournament has begun. Gozik is moving on. Apo will be the first down into the losers bracket, and they'll both wait their next opponent. Until next time.